fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Transformers Lunar Cruiser Prime from Takara Tomy. So this is a Optimus Prime that transforms into a lunar cruiser, sporting the JAXA logo, which stands for the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. Basically their equivalent to our NASA. But yeah, really cool, just a weird concept thing. I just don't know why it exists, but I'm happy it does. It's very cool. I think it looks really neat, and I'm excited to check it out. Packaging here, very simple, but very cool. You have this really nice, sleek black box with some product shots of the robot mode and the vehicle mode here on kind of like the lunar surface with Earth in the background. Really, really cool. I like this quite a bit. Over here, just have a kind of action shot of Lunar Cruiser Prime. Then we have the vehicle mode here for LCP. Just have the name going on up top, and then down here your usual warnings and whatnot. Spin it around to the back. Have some cool shots. He's got some solar panels and things like that. The radar dish. He does have the matrix still. So very cool. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here is Lunar Cruiser Prime out of the packaging. I think this is really awesome. I love this little vehicle. I think this looks fantastic. You got the JAXA and Toyota logos on both sides. And I will apologize, this guy is such a bright, stark white that it's possible it might throw off my light balance from time to time. I'll do my best, but going to apologize ahead of time. So yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure. This almost looks like missile salvos, but I'm assuming it's not that. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but it's really nice paint applications. You got the bumper here, a little bit of red lights here. You got the 3 wheels on each side. He rolls beautifully. You have some nice translucent orange windows here for the front. Now you can see the matrix inside there. I don't believe that that's removable. There's nowhere in the directions where it shows you how to access it or take it out or talks about him holding it. So I think that's just molded in for fun. I do not believe that that comes out of there. You have the Toyota bumper here on the front. Some more translucent orange plastic down below. Got a little winch and tow cable here. Not movable, just molded on detail, but still looks cool. You have the Japanese flag there on the side. That is on both sides. And then you have this piece here on the side, which I'll admit I'm not 100% sure what that is. Maybe some kind of fuel canister or something like that. I'm really not sure. Then you got a little bit of robot kibble underneath, but honestly, not a lot. This guy transforms really awesomely. Just all in all, I think this is really cool. I love this. It's such a fun, unique thing. It's just a great little vehicle. I really like it quite a bit. Now, it does come with 2 accessories. You have the little antenna or radar dish, and you can attach that to this section right here. And you do have a little bit of movement there. You can see there's kind of like a double jointed piece there, so it can come forward, tilt back. You have a little bit of movement there. And then you also have this solar panel, which is molded in this really nice kind of metallic-y. It's not really translucent, but this beautiful blue plastic so that it really reflects the light there, which is cool. So you have a couple things you can do with this. You can see that there are 2 connection points right there, and you can connect this here and here on the side. So you can just pop this on here, like so. If you want him driving around, gathering fuel, maybe this is a battery that, you know, after he gets the solar energy stored, maybe it stores in here. The other thing that you can do with this, which I think is really neat, so you fold this in half like this, yeah, like this, and then this will fold in half like that. You can actually lift up this back section here, so you kind of grab the back bumper, lift this up, and this whole thing will kind of lift up like this. And then you can slide this in underneath the hands back here. And you have to make sure that you get it positioned in, and it will kind of, there's like a little notch for it to drop down into. There we go. So that is in the spot now. And then you can close this back up, and you can actually store that inside. So I think that's really cool. I thought that was a fun little thing. Stores inside there. Let me close this back up all the way. I think this is, there we go. But yeah, really cool. Really neat little storage there, so if you want to store that inside, you absolutely can. Got the little radar dish antenna up here. You can, you know, leave this off if you prefer, and then just kind of pop this back, something like that maybe. But yeah, it's a really cool little vehicle. This is how it comes packaged in the box. So you start off with the vehicle and then the instructions tell you how to go to robot mode, which we'll take a look at right now. So the directions are pretty good, honestly. They can be a little confusing from time to time, but we're going to start off by unhooking this little section here on the side. Just kind of lift that up. It pegs into this piece right here. And then you're going to use the double jointed section here to fold this around and peg that in to itself just like that. We're going to go ahead and lift this section up here on the back. And if you have the solar panel in there, you're going to want to go ahead and pop that off and put that off to the side now. You kind of lift this up and this will kind of hang to about there. Just loosen that up for now. Now, the one thing in the directions that I really couldn't figure out what it was trying to tell me was very close to the start here. So this piece here is pegged in right here to this panel, and that's what you need to pop off. It was telling me to like pull this whole section out, and technically you do, but you have to unhook this. That's the first and foremost thing that you need to do, is pop this off of here. And it can be a little tricky, but there we go. Okay, so that has been unpegged from there. It's a pretty tight little connection, but that's good. Then you can flip these sections out and kind of unpeg them. Much easier to do on this side because there's nothing in the way. That will allow you to then unpeg this section and swing this whole piece down like that. So this pegs in underneath here, as you can see, that white tab, and then this will, once you have this off, drop this whole section down like that. At this point, you can grab a hold of this whole top section, and this whole waist section will flip down. So leave these down here like this. You can kind of see that there is a joint in here, a joint there, and a joint there. And you want to bring this around and kind of accordion it in on itself so that it forms a normal looking robot waist. Then you're going to split the legs apart like so. Spread them out just a little bit, just to give them a little bit of room. Now you have these two little dark blue pieces here around the thigh. They are going to flip open like this, just like that. And then once that's open, that'll allow you to drop this whole section around. Be careful you clear everything. And then you're going to pop these up and the legs will kind of click into place. So do this again over here. Flip this around, click that into place. And so now you can see that those pieces are forming heels for the feet. So next part here is actually pretty cool. You're going to start off with these wheels. They are going to rotate down like this and then rotate into the leg like that. Then you're going to take this section and there is a tab. It's kind of hard to see. Not this white tab, but just right here. That's going to come up and sit right there in that little spot. So this will come up. Let me zoom out a little bit here. This will come up and click into place there. And sometimes it's easier to slide it in from the side if that helps. And then you're just going to fold this section in like that. So that is one leg completely done there. So we'll repeat those steps over here on this leg. This will rotate down, then into the leg. This will come up and peg into the back of the leg. And then fold this panel down like that. And there you go. You have your legs done. We'll give them some ankle tilt like that. So now we will zoom out here and we'll focus on the top section of the robot. I'm going to move the camera up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, these little panels here on the side will fold down and just kind of rest on the side of the abdomen, just like that. And that will give you clearance to lift this up a little bit and bring the arms over, like so. And then that'll kind of drop back a little bit and that's perfectly fine. So you're going to take these large panels, they're going to pop away and then swivel around. So the cool thing is there was a little notch right here that this tab on the underside, I think it's this one here, was pegged into when it was like this. Now it's going to swivel around and there is a tab slot here. Actually, there's a tab here. You can see this gray tab. And that is going to peg in to this spot right there. So when you go to push this back in, it'll also tab into that spot. And then it's just a matter of kind of swiveling the shoulder around until it makes sense. You can see that's what the arm's supposed to look like. So once again, we're going to pull this out, swivel it around, push it back in, and make sure it tabs in where it's supposed to, and then just orient this shoulder how it would normally look for a robot. At this point, we can flip this section up, and then this section here is going to fold underneath and slide into this little cavity. This will serve two functions. One, it'll give him a more Optimus-looking abdomen, but it'll also start to push the robot head up. And so once we push this in, we can then pop the robot head up, like so. So you can see he's got kind of the more traditional Optimus, a little pop of red there for the abdomen. Now it's just a question of compressing this backpack. So this is a really soft, rubbery plastic antenna piece here, and you're just supposed to rotate this in like this. And I don't really like that because it's going to end up like in his armpit. And so that thing's just not long for this world. It's not long before you're posing the robot and that just kind of pops off. So I'm not a huge fan of that, unfortunately. But these panels here on the side are going to rotate up and out of the way like this, which will allow you to bring this down. And there is a tab right here that this bumper will tab into. So we just compress that down like that. And then if this is up or in the way at all, you have to make sure that that's as flat as that can be, the little antenna piece. And then this will come around, and how this actually works, these will open up again. And there is a tiny little channel. You can kind of see it right here. And that's going to clip onto the sides of this. So when this comes around and you push it down as far as you can, then this will come down and clip onto the sides and kind of keep that together. And then this whole thing is going to rotate down on this double hinge piece right here. And you can see there's two connections right here, and they are going to tab in right there and there. So this is going to come down and just boom, form the backpack. And there you go. Oops, make sure. These I wish clicked into place a little better. See, this thing is causing nothing but problems. There we go. I guess actually maybe that'll keep that in place. That's my only complaint. These flap around a little bit too much. I wish they kind of pegged into place. It's not a huge problem, but like I said, this thing is just going to live here in kind of like his shoulder to like bicep region. And it's just, that's going to get caught on stuff. So, but in any case, here we go. Here is our Lunar Cruiser Optimus Prime in robot mode. I think this is so cool. I think they did such a nice job of kind of balancing all the white from the vehicle mode, but giving that little bit of the blue and the red that Optimus is known for. You got the yellow here on the crotch area. The backpack actually compresses pretty nicely. I think they did a really nice job with that. It doesn't really get in the way of anything, and I think that holds together pretty well. Obviously, my only complaint is this thing. I almost just wish it was removable, or maybe it could have swiveled down or completely around so that it was in behind the rest of the chest. Like this one up here doesn't bother me at all because that's not really in anyone's way. You also have these two pieces here on the side. If you want to rotate them up so that they kind of look like smokestacks, you can. We're going to use them to attach the accessories in various ways. I'll get into that in a minute, but they can move around like that. Really nice Autobot symbol here on the shoulder. Kind of wish it was on both shoulders, but that's fine. The head sculpt, I think, is awesome. I think they did a really cool job with that. The blue for the eyes looks great. You know, it's a lighter blue than the helmet, which is that really nice kind of dark navy blue. The silver for the head crest and the faceplate looks great. You can see the matrix there, again, molded inside, but unfortunately no way to access it. But still looks really cool. So head's on a ball joint. You can look up, can look down, look side to side, no problem. You can also tilt a little side to side. Pretty nice range of motion on the ball joint there for the head. Swivel for the shoulder, out to the side hinge, bicep swivel. I would say over 90 degrees, maybe 120, maybe not quite, for the elbow there. Wrist can swivel. You actually have opening hands. Now it's one solid piece. They're not individual fingers, but still really nice. I like that. We have a waist swivel here, almost at the abdomen, as you can see. And the backpack really doesn't get in the way. When you start to get to about there, it does, but still, that's a nice range of motion. I got no problem with that. And if you wanted to unhook the backpack, you could get the full range of motion out of it. Kick really far forward. They did a really nice job, and I like the way they do these now, where they kind of, you know, have the hip piece connected here, and then like part of the skirt is connected to the leg. I like the way they've started doing that. Kick really far forward. I like that quite a bit. If we move the arm out of the way, kick really far out to the side as well. Can't really go back because that's hitting into that piece there, so it stops it. But still looks really good. Thigh swivel. You got 90 degrees in the knee. You got plenty of ankle tilt. You got a tiny bit of front to back, but not much. And then you got those really nice heels. So he doesn't really have any trouble standing. Just all in all, it's a really cool, fun little piece. Like I said, it's just, I don't know why they decided to do it, but it's really neat. I love when they have Optimus transform into various things. He's been sneakers. He's been gaming systems. And now a lunar cruiser. Why the heck not? So really cool. Bringing the accessories back in, you can pop these on the little antenna here, can attach to either side. For the solar panel, you have a couple options, which is actually kind of cool. So he can use it as a shield. You can put it back like this, and then it will actually fit in his hand here. So it can connect as a shield, like that. Now, he doesn't really have a blaster. I guess he has this thing, which you could kind of pretend is like a, you know, forearm mounted blaster, but it'd take a little bit of imagination. I kind of wish they had given him just, you know, packed in. Even if it couldn't store anywhere in the vehicle mode, I would have been fine with that, but I feel like he needs a blaster. You could probably use, I don't know, do I have something handy? Let's see. Here's this is from Sandstorm. Should fit in the hand, no problem, I would think. There you go. So, I think he looks cooler with a blaster, just me. I mean, I'm sure I could just grab, you know, his iconic blaster from anything else. I think I have that one from, that really big one from that accessory pack they did years ago with the Gray Centurion. I could probably, yeah, that would actually probably work well. Maybe I'll dig that out. But yeah, I think he needs a blaster. I mean, these are fine, I guess, and I like the shield, but I feel like they should have packed in a gun. Anyway, you can also take this and you can connect this here. So you can peg this on here like this. So you can have it up like that if you want. If you want to rotate it down so it's kind of more of an arm shield, you can do that. So you have some options there. And then also you can just peg it onto the back here. So you'll see that there are two little notches right there and there. And that will peg onto these two little pegs here on the back. So you can just pop this on here like this and store it on the back. So again, a lot of options for the solar panel. I think that's really cool. I like that quite a bit. And then again, you can put this on either side, whichever you prefer. But yeah, all in all, this guy's a lot of fun. Great articulation, great paint applications. The accessories are fun. Transformation, not too difficult. Once you do it once, it's really not hard to go back and forth. Yeah, just all in all, this guy's great. I think Lunar Cruiser Prime is a lot of fun. Honestly, it's one of those weird mashups that I like that they do from time to time. Like I said, he's been sneakers, he's been video gaming consoles. What will Optimus transform into next? Well, in this case, the answer is a Lunar Cruiser. And I think it's great. I really do. I think the robot mode looks fantastic. Like I said, the paint applications are great. The head sculpt is great. The articulation's fantastic. The accessories are fun. You have so many options of what you can do with the solar panel. Not as many options with the antenna, but still cool. You have the Matrix molded in there. You know, I'm honestly fine with not being able to access it. I think it's cool that you can see it in there very clearly. I don't always need him to hold the Matrix. Honestly, most of the time I don't mess with it anyway, so I'm perfectly fine with that. And it's very visible, which is cool. I think I mentioned the head sculpt, but I really like it, so I'm going to mention it again. I think it looks really, really fantastic. I think the vehicle mode looks amazing as well. Transformation is not too difficult. You do it once or twice, you got it down. It's really not that big a deal. I really, like I said, my only note for this guy, I wish he came with a blaster. That's about it. I feel like they could have packed one in, even if you can't stored in the vehicle mode. I love that you can store the solar panel on the inside of the vehicle mode. I think that's so cool. And I would have been fine if you couldn't store the blaster. I'll just grab a blaster from something else. That's fine. But I do kind of wish one was packed in. That's like my only note. Honestly, this guy's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend if you can get a hold of this guy. He's worth checking out. Even the backpack, I feel like, compresses pretty well and doesn't really get in the way. It certainly doesn't hinder articulation at all. So, yeah, this guy's just a lot of fun. I love him. I really do. I'm so happy I picked him up. Japan's been giving us some really great stuff between the Missing Link series and now this. We're getting Masterpiece Jinrai soon. They're really hitting all the buttons. They're knocking it out of the park, and I'm happy for it. So, like I said, definitely if you can get a hold of this guy for a reasonable price, I recommend checking it out. Now, I do not remember off the top of my head what the retail price was. I feel like it was somewhere between like 50 and 100. I almost want to say like 75-ish. I'm not 100% sure on that, but again, it is kind of like a random release from Takara that's probably somewhat limited. So I get it. Now, I believe it was available on Hasbro Pulse as well. So if you're looking for this guy and you don't have an order in anywhere, I would check Amazon Japan. I would check Hasbro Pulse. I would check places like AmiAmi and HLJ. If maybe even BBTS. I think BBTS had these as well. Entertainment Earth. No, Entertainment Earth doesn't do Transformers, do they? No. So BBTS. The usual fan channel stuff, like where you would normally check. There's probably a few of these still kicking around. If not, if they're all sold out everywhere, I'd probably go to your Japanese secondary places, you know, Mandarake, Yahoo Japan Auctions, Japanese Mercari, probably even eBay would have these, I would assume. So if you can find one for a reasonable price, I definitely think it's worth checking out. It's just a really fun release, and it looks great. And like I said, my only note, I wish it came with a blaster, but I can grab one from someone else. And yeah. He's just a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.